Hi Dakota, Mr. Parrish here. I'm going to take a few minutes and go through the identity paragraph submission. You can find the feedback studio that you see here by returning to the original submission, your original submission, and turn it in. If you click on a little blue pencil icon next to the grade, you'll see you'll be taken to this page that shows you my comments as well as these grade marks. If you click on the grade marks, they open up and give further explanation or description of what's going on in the situation. All right. When formatting your paper in MLA, the page number and the author's last name go up in this corner. You can insert that or just use the MLA template that's in Moodle. And the date, when you write a date in MLA, here's the style for that. The date comes first. It's kind of the British way to do it, and MLA uses it for some reason. First grade mark here, topic sentence needs work. Really keep in mind the topic sentence of a paragraph, really the first or maybe the first two sentences of a paragraph, outline what the entire paragraph is about. And you would recognize here that the paragraph is not being about born and raised in Stokesdale, North Carolina. It's really about being this concept, I think, that one's identity is a combination of roles or phases we go through in our life, that kind of thing. It's a little more complex than that. After establishing that idea, let's take a look at this next sentence. That may be grammatically the most problematic one in the paper, and maybe you can take a couple of things away from what's going on here. So first of all, you begin the sentence with although, and as I often tell students in class, if you start a sentence with although, there's a comma coming, but it doesn't come right after although. It comes at the end of that idea, although I was born in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, comma. That comma doing the double duty of being the one that separates North Carolina, but also the comma that ends that introductory clause. The issue after that, though, is that the rest of this should be the complete sentence. The sentence you're basically introducing with, although I was born in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, but it's by itself not a sentence. So this whole first sentence is a fragment. You'll work on this when you're doing those inquisitive exercises, so you'll get a little more practice at that idea. I think actually what is going on is that this although idea completes the previous sentence, and still currently live there, although I was born in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. And then comes this other kind of additional clause. So the sentence itself is a little more complicated than you probably want to you would lead your reader through. In part, I think it is because of that lack of a topic sentence. If you establish something like that, then perhaps you establish this identity. So structurally, one part of your identity is, I suppose, someone who plans to be a nurse, a prospective nurse, or a student training to be a nurse, something like that. That's the idea that you would end up developing. If you use hopefully or any word that ends in ly, an adverb, a word that ly is added to, hopefully, finally, secondly, any of those ly words, there's a comma immediately after it. And it seems like you shift tense right here when you say, with that being said, I was to pursue the nursing program at Rockingham Community College. That I was to sort of implies that something's happened and you're not, although I didn't see that in the paper. So if this probably should be, I plan to pursue, or I am pursuing, if that's the case. Here is that an even though sentence, very much like the although sentence. Right? Although and even though are equivalents, so just like you would have the comma here, even though I enjoy the science behind being a nurse, that's where the comma would go. In that case, I also have many different hobbies that completes that idea. I am big into, I think that's talking style. That's the sort of thing in the final draft of your paper. You might find different ways to say that. I'm very involved in crafting, or I enjoy a variety of crafting activities such as that kind of thing. I do wish you would tell me more about the tattoo apprenticeship. That certainly seems to be an awfully interesting aspect of this. So whereas I think I could pretty much fill in the blanks with painting, drawing, sewing, sketching, I'm really interested in what a tattoo apprenticeship entails. So a few things there. obviously, I didn't see anything here that gives me great concern. I think you'll do fine in the class. You seem to get onto assignments quickly, and you've asked questions when you've needed to. So, if you would do me one favor and email me that you've received the feedback and that you're able to access it and understand. If you have any questions about this feedback or about the upcoming assignment, of course, reach out to me when you have to. Thanks.